going forward, any project that is undertaken by a foreigner must have at least 30% of its content, both in value or otherwise, given to a local contractor. But I must say that that is a short-term measure. The long-term measure that the authority is undertaking is through training and capacity building, which is one of our other mandates. Yeah. We realize that the reason that people prefer foreign contractors is probably because they're better equipped, they're more trained, they're more exposed, they have better financial resources. And at the authority, we are addressing that issue as a long-term measure, where we expect to roll out 1 million artisans in the next 3 years. Because when you have qualified artisans, first, you create jobs. Secondly, you ensure that quality is assured in the industry. And thirdly, you lock out the foreigners. If we just sit back and cry and say that we are giving work to foreigners without addressing the root cause, then in the long term, we'll be overtaken by events. And so we've addressed that through our regulations, which were published last year. And now, through the training programs that we have started undertaking as an authority.
And in terms of those training programs, you look at some, I remember a case in point where some construction of oil rigs in Turkana, and they were even advertising where the biggest problem they seem to have had is even lack of welders. When you look around Kenya and you always see someone welding somewhere, and they expect that they have the technical capacity to handle such issues, and perhaps it doesn't meet the standard. Perhaps, are we looking at, in terms of authority and also as a government, as training school, where first of all you get training and then are certified and to an international standard, where you don't only get to work in Kenya, but you can also work in other jurisdictions where those actually criteria are
the statistics that I have are actually very shocking in terms of capacity in the artisan levels. From a research that we conducted at the authority, we found out that there are less than 600,000 qualified artisans. Now, against a need immediately of 2 million. And if you look at the massive projects that we have in infrastructure, up to Vision 2030, we estimate that we need up to 7-8 million artisans in this country.
Yeah.
So we've got a very big shortfall. That means that in the next 15 years, we must produce 500,000 artisans per year on average to meet the demand for 2030. Now, you may see welders, in Kariobangi, Kawasukari, but I can tell you that they are not enough. Secondly, I can tell you that they are not able to weld some of the highly technical elements. Welding itself, for example, is a very highly specialized field.
Yeah.
And if you remember, if we're going to undertake our pipelines and our railways, it's sad that we may have to import some of those welders from abroad because we've not yet gained that skill. But what we've done at the authority is that we are now partnering with the relevant stakeholders. For example, in the area of oil and gas, we are partnering with the people involved in the exploration, upstream exploration, to give us guidance on the design of a curriculum. And I must say that this we are doing with the TVET institutions and existing government programs.
Well, I might just hold you just there. We have someone, Godfrey, online all the way from Bungoma. Godfrey, if you can hear me, just what